Guinea Pigs 1. So today's video topic is, why aren't my guinea pigs getting along? What can I do to help them get along? So one of the main messages I get are, my guinea pigs are fighting, what can I do? So some of the first questions I ask are, what kind of introductions did you do? And show me a picture of your cage setup. So we'll start off with improper introductions. That is a common thing that's been done. So that means putting the new pig into the old pig's cage without cleaning anything. So when you're doing introductions with guinea pigs, it's absolutely key to introduce them in a neutral territory, meaning it has no smells of any of the guinea pigs, is a new space for everybody, fresh and clean, wide open space with just some hay and some vegetables. It's really important that no pigs feel like they own any part of their introduction area. So if you're doing an introduction in your old guinea pig's cage, it smells like that pig. So you put a new pig in that cage, it's an automatic fight for that old guinea pig. And by old, I just mean the pig you had first. I don't mean like an elderly pig. So your old pig's going to defend their territory because it's like, what the heck, who's this? This is my cage. So right there, you're going to just start a fight and it's off to a bad start. So you have to do the neutral introduction. So for this quad, what I did was cleaned out this entire cage, washed it down with vinegar, put all new bedding in, washed all of their dishes and bottles. Everything was brand new. And then I put everybody in the cage. So nothing smelled like anybody, and this was a new section because the two cages had been combined from other pigs. So it was brand new, so nobody owned anything. So the next biggest reason that pigs aren't getting along is cage size. It is absolutely important to have a large enough cage. The small cages means there is not enough room for them to go about their daily business. They feel crowded. Guinea pigs do like to have space to be on their own or to be close when they feel like it. Males especially, if they feel crowded, they are going to fight. So I often get shown pictures of pet store cages, and it's like, no wonder your pigs aren't getting along. They feel like they are crammed in there, and they're so unhappy and grumpy. They have no space. So the next big reason is the cage setup itself is not very well thought out. So I have seen cage setups where they may be CNC cages, but they have these weird walls all about. So there's corners and weird angles where pigs can get stuck, where they can hide behind and jump out at each other. Some people have really tight, crammed kitchen areas. So if all the pigs want to eat hay and drink water and have some pellets at the same time, they're crammed into this little like 1x2 area where you're just asking for them to fight. So another cage setup issue that I have personally dealt with is lofts and ramps. So my one boar would sit at the top of the loft, right at the top of the ramp, and not let the other boar up or down. So if you notice your pigs are fighting over the loft and ramps, please take it down. Another thing they will fight over is if they don't feel like there's enough beds to go around. If there's houses that only have one entrance, they'll fight. If there's not enough water bottles to go around, not enough food dishes. Really, you need more than enough for everybody and then some. Because you've all seen it where, let's say you only had one bed for 4 pigs. They all want that one bed. So keep in mind your cage setup. Lots of floor space, lots of places to run, no places to get cornered or stuck or to guard. Guinea pigs are territorial, so that's the main thing to keep in mind. So the next reason why guinea pigs might not be getting along is they are in a stressful environment. So perhaps you have their cage set up somewhere that is very noisy, so maybe they do not enjoy being in your living room right next to the TV with loud, scary sounds. Maybe they're close to dogs that are barking and scaring them. Maybe they are close to where your cats are and the cats keep jumping up on the cages, scaring them. So if they're in a really rough environment, they might not get along because they are just so unhappy. So another reason they might not get along is because they're having an improper diet. They're not being fed like they should. So food is scarce, so they're fighting over food. They're feeling hungry. Their guts might be feeling crampy and unhappy, so they are just on edge at all times. Another reason they might be fighting, somebody is sick. So this would be for piggies that you've had together for a while, and then all of a sudden you notice that they're fighting and there should be no reason for it. Sometimes, sadly, it's the survival of the fittest, and if one guinea pig is not well, they're going to fight the unwell guinea pig. So I have had this personally. Bullseye and Butterscotch were together. They got along just great. When Butterscotch was sick and not doing well with her bladder stone, Bullseye started to pick on her, and they started being very crabby with each other. I already knew that she was sick because we were in the process of treating her, but that can happen. So if it's out of nowhere and your guinea pig is acting odd, I would go get them a health check to make sure that they're okay. So another example of that would be if a guinea pig has ovarian cysts, they might turn very hormonal and very grumpy towards other pigs when they before were getting along great. So the next reason your pigs might not be getting along is, unfortunately, their personalities are just not matching. So just like people and just like other pets, their personalities have to match up and they have to get along with each other that way. So perhaps you're trying to put together two pigs who are the boss and neither of them wants to back down. That happens. I've had it happen that no matter what you try, they do not want to get along because both of them want to be the boss. So some things that you can try. Let's say they're having some minor fights, like nothing that is endangering anyone's life, but they're not happy. Number one thing would be to upgrade their cage size, change their entire cage setup so that it has the most wide open space, open beds, big hay piles, more water bottles, more pellet dishes. Try to make it as easy for them to get around and as uncluttered as possible. Another thing to do is give the guinea pigs both a bath them together, dry them together, let them have some floor time together. Do lap and cuddle times together, hand feed them together, anything so that they're bonding and have each other to rely on through different situations. And the last thing, if you just absolutely cannot get them to get along, sadly, living side by side is the best bet. So guinea pigs who are literally side by side, divided by grids or divided by plexiglass, that's better than being alone. Other option would be if you're in a situation where you can adopt more, then you could pair them off with other pigs. But when you're getting two pigs, this is something you have to think about before, is if they do not get along, what are you going to do? So I've had pigs who lived side by side harmoniously. They would talk through the bars and touch noses, but anytime you would try to do introductions, they would fight. But they lived happily side by side. They still had the companionship. They still felt like they weren't alone. They still could hear each other, smell each other. So that's better than just having one pig all by itself. It's not ideal, but it is better. So those are my suggestions. Feel free to leave some comments below, and I hope this kind of helped you guys out a little bit. Okay, bye guys.